Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have a hell of a show in store for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So yesterday, we produced a show that was centered on some comments that were made by Chris Mad Dog Russo on ESPN First Take. The panel featured Stephen A. Smith, Molly Karen, Brian Windhorst, Kendrick Perkins, and Chris Mad Dog Russo himself, and they were discussing NBA opening night, but in particular, they were talking about the Lakers game versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the moment that LeBron James and his son Bronny James shared on the court together when they made history as the first father and son duo to ever play in the NBA. Ken Griffey Jr. and his father were there as well. So everyone was there in attendance. And in the aftermath of that, if you listen to some voices in media, some people are saying that, hey, look, it was a great moment, blah, blah, blah. But there are others that have been pushing back. And one of those people that pushed back yesterday was Chris Mad Dog Russo. He was the only one on that panel that seemed to have a varying opinion. And when he was asked to weigh in on it, he was like, I don't think this was a big deal. I think most Americans did not care about this. And a lot of this seemed pretty much manufactured, to the point where Molly Karen was interrupting him like, hey, Chris, why would you say this? Why would you say that? You shouldn't say that. So we produced a show on that. And a bunch of people have weighed in. A bunch of people, and the vast majority of the viewers that have watched that show at least seem to agree with Chris. Like, you're 100% correct. You're 100% correct. He was being truthful. He was being truthful, right? So what happened after that, Chris made a lot of headlines, and then he went on the Dan Patrick show, right? He went on the Dan Patrick show, and essentially what he was doing was discussing what took place early in the day with him on ESPN First Take. And just when you thought Chris would have probably said to himself, you know what, maybe I went too far. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe some people were trying to get on him. Instead, what he did was double down on his explosive comments on ESPN, where he was essentially saying, no, I think it was totally manufactured. It's not a big deal, and we shouldn't treat it as such. And I was like, wow, Chris is really stating it like it is. But before we even get into his comments, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks makes it easy to get real money action on sports and players you love. Pick more or less on 2 or more players in any sport to win up to 100 times your entry fee. For example, here's a possible winning player projection lineup: Tyreek Hill for more than 90 receiving yards and Dak Prescott for more than 263 passing yards, Josh Allen for less than 240 passing yards, and CB Lamb for more than 96 receiving yards. And if you're like me and you want to play safe, you will love the new features Prize Picks invented: Flex Plays. Flex Pays are the safest way to play Prize Picks. You can still make a profit or win some money back even if a couple of your picks don't hit. On top of this, Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now, I want to play exactly what Chris Mad Dog Russo had to say on the Dan Patrick show, and then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to that there.
I didn't see this, but I read it where you kind of dismiss the LeBron James concocted, scripted.
Yeah, I can't stand it. What a waste of time that is. Yes, I think that's so stupid. That is so, Dan, that is so artificial. That is so, I mean, come on. He had 1 rebound in 3 minutes. He's going to be in the G League in about a week. Listen, LeBron is a wonderful player, and I understand that Lakers are trying to make sure that he is motivated and he's galvanized and it meant something to him. So I understand that. But I walk around town all the time. I did not have one person tell me, wow, did you see that Bronny played with LeBron last night? The American sports fan could care less. Let's be fair. And don't compare it to Griffey. I looked it up. When Ken Griffey played with his son with Seattle, he hit 306 that year. And 1 year, and then another year, he had a 380 batting average. Griffey could still hit when he was 41 years of age. Bronny's not an NBA player right now. The Lakers did this to pacify LeBron, which I understand. He's the second greatest player of all time. It meant something to him. Okay. But don't try to convince the American sports fan that this is a big deal that LeBron played with his kid and it's the first ever, because I think it's fake. That's my take. I know a lot of people disagree. That's my take.
Okay. Your son's just starting out in the business. He doesn't warrant being on a big stage, but let's say you say to management, I'd like to do a radio show with my son on Sirius XM.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I understand what your point is. I wouldn't say that because these jobs are very difficult to get. And I think that advantage for him would be unfair. So I would not tell, bosses, hey, do me a favor, make sure Colin Russo gets on Sirius and does a once a week show with me. I swear to God, you can tell anybody down in West Palm, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
And I'll say this right now. I won't say that because that will get me in trouble.
Your wife's out of town. You can't get in trouble.
I'll say it. Colin, on a radio perspective, he is better at what he does right now than Bronny is what he does. How's that? Okay. I'll say that with all sorts of confidence.
Okay.
I just think, to me, it was, you don't think that was a little artificial?
Yes. Yes, the whole draft was artificial.
Okay, so you agree with me?
Yeah. But I still think it was pretty cool that they were able to pull this off.
So you heard what Chris had to say. You know what's interesting? I don't think that ESPN anticipated Chris having these type of views. If you follow the vast majority of personalities on ESPN, they all seem to be in lockstep when it comes to issues related to LeBron James. It's like everybody must either say he's the second greatest player of all time and everything that he does is great. And the moment you have a person like Chris Russo come out there and say something differently, all of a sudden it's making headlines. He also revealed something interesting as well in that Dan Patrick sit down where he said he's actually not an employee of ESPN, like a part-time employee. He said, I don't even have, an ID card to get in the building. He's like, no, I'm not even which is pretty interesting because we know he's there once a week on Wednesdays when he's on the show. I think it's Wednesdays. Yes, he goes on the show once a week, and that's on every Wednesday. And he said it before that he goes there to pretty much assist Stephen A. Smith to take some of the load and the pressure off of him because the show was quite demanding. What are my thoughts on what he had to say? First of all, look, I appreciate his candor and his courage. And I think we need more of this in sports media. We need more of this. The only person I have heard in sports media that had the balls to come out there and say, I don't think Bronny's ready to play in the NBA right now, is Charles Barkley. He said it on NBA opening night. He's not ready for the NBA. He should be in the G League. Most people won't do that. Most people will play political football. They'll act like, oh, well, you need to give it some time, because a lot of them are afraid of LeBron and clutch sports for whatever reason. And that's the reason why we need voices like Charles Barkley in the business. In terms of Chris Mad Dog Russo, I think ESPN, if they want to make their shows more credible, you need people like this on your platform. Because what Chris did was create a counterbalance to some of the views. And it was evident based on Molly Karam's reaction. Because had he said, oh, it was a wonderful moment, I loved it, it was great for sports and all, she wouldn't have said anything. But given her reaction to his commentary, you knew that he was breaking away from the script. And I think that's a bad thing. Where everyone agrees in the network that we're all going to have pretty much the same views on these issues. So for me, I think he added some significant value to that show, or at the very least that segment. You need people with different opinions on these shows. You just can't have people up there have people coming up there twerking it up every single day, slapping each other with honey, acting a damn fool on TV, just because we all just got to go along to get along, to quote Kwame Brown, that's his quote, and act like as if we don't see what we're really seeing. And what makes it even more insulting is that they do this acting like as if sports fans are, this is the part that kills me. It really, like these networks think that all viewers of sports are stupid. You know that there are a lot of intelligent people that watch sports, right? Like you do know that. So to act like as if the audience is dumb and tell them that, oh, what you're seeing is not really what you're seeing. Like we didn't just witness the fact that Apart from them sharing the court together, nothing occurred. They didn't score any buckets together, nothing. So to try to dress it up and make it seem like as if it was something bigger than it actually was is disingenuous. And when you have people like Chris Russo going out there and saying that, I think it makes the show more entertaining and more credible to watch. This is just my take on it. So the question to the audience is the following. What do you think about Chris Mad Dog Russo having the courage, not only to say that on ESPN, but also having the courage to double down on his comments? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comments section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace.